Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. Today we're going to take a look at the 3 new contract types that are available in Silver Run Forest for Farming Simulator 22 as part of the Platinum expansion. But before that, this video is brought to you by Bad Habit 99 and Jamberry. Thank you for being farm barons. So as you may know, Silver Run Forest is a forestry-focused map, and as such, well, it's kind of thin on agricultural contracts. So what Giants has done, because they know that players like to do contracts on the side, is they have created 3 new forestry-focused contracts. And we're going to take a look at each and every one of those that is a part of Silver Run Forest and the Platinum expansion. 3 new contract types are tree transport, tree removal, and stone crushing or rock crushing. So here we are set up for our tree removal contract. And the goal of this particular contract is going to be to find identified trees that are marked with paint and cut down the deadwood, cut down the dead trees. Let's take a look at the PDA and maybe you'll get a little better understanding. So we have 3 areas marked here. This one is to clear deadwood. This one is to clear stones or rocks that are marked. And then we have one that is to transport logs. Let's take a look at our contracts. Our tree transport, they're going to pay us $10,450 to transport 19 logs to the southern sawmill. That's all we have to do. We have to pick logs up off the ground. They're already placed alongside the road. Pick them up, put them on a truck, drive them to the southern sawmill, and sell them. There you go. We got ourselves some money. Rock removal. There are 8 marked rocks in that circle area. We have to locate those 8 rocks. And then we have to break them up with the hydraulic breaker, the jackhammer that's attached to the skid steer. Once that's done, contract's finished. We collect ourselves some money. Deadwood. On this particular contract, we have to cut down 14 trees, and the number of trees that we have to cut down is going to be different per contract, but on this particular contract, it's 14 trees. We're going to get $2,100. All we got to do is take a little walk in the forest, find some dead trees, cut them down with a chainsaw. Presto, we're done. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to do that. So for deadwood, again, we're going to find the marked trees. What I like to do is I like to have the mini-map down here in the small circle. That way we have the largest circle possible. And you can see within that red circle is where we're going to find our deadwood. And what I like to do is I like to walk the perimeter of the circle, then slowly make my way in toward the middle. Because just wandering around the circle, well, inevitably you're going to miss something. So there we go. You can see clearly there's nothing down there that's deadwood. So we're just going to go ahead and start right here. Deadwood is easily identifiable because there's no green anywhere on the tree whatsoever. Whereas some of these trees, they've got green up at the top, but the bottom, kind of looks dead. You may or may not be able to easily see the markings depending on, where the bushes are, but there are going to be markings on the tree. So let's go ahead and bring up our chainsaw. We'll get our little circle to cut, and down it goes. Now, if we check our contract page, we have 13 trees remaining. So this really won't take too terribly long. But again, the goal is to walk around the perimeter here and find the marked trees. So there's one. Two. Now I'm going to go ahead and just cut down the rest of these. I'll leave one left for you so you can see what happens when you finish out the contract. 2 trees left, and here's one of them. And then the final tree is right around the corner. There you go. Deadwood contract on Farmland 11 finished. Now, I can tell you, if you want to, you can transport these trees to the sawmill and run them through the sawmill. You're basically not going to get any money for them. They're kind of worthless. You may decide, oh, well, I'll just chip them up. Man, they're not worth it. You're going to get so few wood chips. Basically, the only thing they're good for is cutting them down and then completing out the contract. And once you complete the contract, well, the trees, they're magically back where they were before. So you will have repeating contracts for Deadwood all on the same areas. Now let's go take a look at our next contract. Let's do stone crushing. So to crush the stones, we're going to drive around and we're going to look for rocks that are identified with flags. And we're basically going to crush the rocks with our stone crusher. Same as general philosophy holds with respect to kind of going around in a circle. We're going to turn this on. We're going to pulverize our rock. And after a little bit of time, well, the rock stone is going to kind of break up into stones. There you go. Now the rock's vanished and we have a pile of stones. So continuing, we're going to drive in a circle, kind of on the fringe of our line, and look for marked stones that we're going to break up. Just that simple. So once again, let me go ahead and work on these for a little bit. And you'll see what it looks like when we complete that contract. And our final rock that we need to crush. Now you may think to yourself, well, after we've crushed up all these rocks, we've got piles of stones, right? Can we come around and collect these piles of stone? Well, the answer is no, you can't. And let me show you over here. I've got our Volvo BM loader over here. And we've got a pile of stone from one of the rocks that we crushed. You'll see that it's completely inert. It's just this giant, solid pile. We've got another pile of rocks over here. See if we can get that pile. Nope. It's just a giant pile of unusable stone. So once again, the only thing we can really do with this stone is complete out the contract. Because other than that, it's just a big pile. Let's go ahead and complete that contract. And when we do so, the stones vanish. Then that's going to leave one more contract type, and that is tree transport. And we're going to identify that by this little icon here. And as we're going to roll up on this, we're going to see that we have a nice stack of trees, or stack of logs, just positioned here at the side of the road. Our job is going to be to pick those up, put them in the trailer, and then we're going to transport them down to the southern sawmill. So once again, let me go ahead and get these loaded up, and I'll meet you down at the sawmill. Now, maybe you're not going to be as adept at stacking logs as, well, let's say I am. So you may have to actually make 2 trips, or depending on what you've brought to transport the logs, multiple trips to haul the logs. But here we go. We managed to squeeze them all on here. We're going to make our way over to the southern sawmill. Remember, we got to take them to the proper sawmill. And then we will be rewarded handsomely for all of our efforts. Now, I'd like to know from you all, what do you think of these new contracts that are available in the Platinum expansion and specifically Silver Run Forest? for Farming Simulator 22. The cut down the Deadwood, the tree removal contracts, the rock removal contracts, and then the tree transport contracts. Let's take our time. We don't want to roll it over. We don't want to damage the logs, because it did say that if we damage the logs, well, then our reward will be adjusted accordingly. There we go. And solo. Contract finished, and look at that. I got an extra $25 bonus. There you go, guys. That is going to do us for another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. Be sure to check out the other videos in the how-to playlist. We've got a few where we're going to be covering Platinum Expansion and Silver Run Forest specific features. Then we've got how-to videos covering all sorts of other topics related to Farming Simulator 22. And until next time, happy farming!